Hey guys, this is HD, and I'm here to bring a broadcast between PainUser and Gretorp. Both these players are very high-level Terran players, and Gretorp saying he's at the bottom position on a 1 versus 1, and he's saying thank you stream because I am broadcasting, well, I was broadcasting this game live over my Ustream channel, and I was planning to upload this onto YouTube. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, I had to restart the stream constantly, and so I decided I'm just going to recast the entire game for YouTube because it was pretty darn epic. So this is going to be the official recast. If you guys saw it on stream, then you guys might want to watch it again. If not, go ahead and skip this game. Anyways, Terran versus Terran and Desert Oasis is just a perfect 2x2 formula for an epic battle, because we all know Desert Oasis spawns these awesome games that go for like 40 minutes plus. And on top of that, it is a Terran versus Terran, and Terran versus Terran is probably the most dynamic matchup right now. Keep in mind that this is not part of the HDH Invitational. The HDH Invitational is actually going to be live casted tomorrow at 1 p.m. That's Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think I'll have a video up before this cast so you guys can see that. But this is not part of the HDH Invitational. This is actually the Gosu Coaching Cup round of, I believe, 128 or round of 64. And I'm pretty good friends with PainUser, and so he said, hey, why don't you come in and stream this live and upload it to your YouTube? So that's what I'm here doing. This is not part of the HDH, but both of these players are very well known, and both of them are very solid Terran players. So I'm looking forward to seeing a pretty good game here. Keep in mind, I have seen it before since I did broadcast it live, but it was so long and so epic, I don't really remember everything that happened, so hopefully we're going to be in store for a pretty good one here. Now, one thing about Desert Oasis that, you know, players don't really like it, look at that, PainUser saying I'm not smelly because Gretorp accused him of possibly using cheese in this map. And the thing is, Desert Oasis is very prone to cheese tactics. Reaper Rush, 8 racks Reaper, is very powerful in this map, because while the rush distance is extremely long for conventional ground forces, you can really use Reapers to kind of just hop your way across the map very easily between the two bases. And on top of that, air is very powerful as well for that same reason. Looks like we have a factory going up at a very strange location, going up behind the mineral line. And I think PainUser is going to see this as he starts to make his way into the base, or maybe he won't. Let's see, the first Marine is already out. PainUser really does need to spot this, so he has a good chance to see what exactly is going on. Right now, all he sees is a Rax, and that's got to be a little bit peculiar to him, so he might be a bit concerned about some kind of a proxy right now. Usually, Terran versus Terran is all about getting your fast factories up first, although at the same note, PainUser doesn't have his factory quite up yet, just now throwing it down. And we actually, whoa, we actually have a starport going up too, so Gretorp is really rushing to his starport tech, and he's hiding it behind his mineral line. I mean, starport tech is pretty standard for Terran versus Terran, especially since it's on Desert Oasis, but I like how he's hiding it behind his mineral line, and to that effect, I think that's caused PainUser to since he didn't see the factory, he was probably really concerned, and so you guys can see that he's got his entire walled off right now, which isn't very common in Terran versus Terran. Usually you don't wall off. So I think PainUser is a little bit, you know, skeptical of a possible cheese attack or something like that. He's got control of all the watchtowers as well. But very soon there's actually going to be a Banshee coming out. So you guys saw that factory put down that tech lab, and then it swapped with the starport. And so this is going to be a pretty fast Banshee rush coming from Gretorp. Let's see how PainUser is going to respond. A scan goes down, sees absolutely nothing except for perhaps the factory. Factory also throwing down its tech lab, and a starport coming up. So PainUser just a little bit late as he tried to get his scouting SCV in to see what is going on, and he really still has no idea. Right now, we'd like to see PainUser actually maybe throw down a comsat, use a scan, because you know, you don't always have to use it on meals. Sometimes scan is all that much more important. The only unfortunate thing is usually in TVT, or as with any Terran player, when you scan on Desert Oasis, you scan this location or this location, but you never think to scan here. And so this Banshee is going to be pretty darn fast. We'll see what kind of damage Gretorp is going to be able to do, though. If he can get a Viking out right now, he should be okay, but he might opt to go swap with the factory or the racks as soon as the units are done building, and he might not. Oh, look at that, he's getting a dropship out. So this Banshee is going to start to go to work on the refinery. The refinery almost getting dropped here. PainUser really doesn't want to lose the gas. Losing the gas in Terran versus Terran is really not what you want to happen. It's a very gas-dependent matchup. And now the Banshee's starting to go to work on some of the SCVs. I'm surprised Gretorp isn't opting to go for the workers. I think that would be so much more wise than going for a refinery. And there he starts to go to work on some of the workers. The Banshee already with 4 kills. About 1 or 2 of those are Marines, however. Ooh, Gretorp's gonna have to be careful here. Fall back. Almost losing that Banshee as well. Thankfully, he's got some Marines under to cover. And look at this. PainUser bringing out a Thor. So he's going for a Thor ship. Whoa. And I've seen PainUser use this a lot versus Zerg, especially versus me. Very effectively. He's recently been using it against Protoss as well. And now this is the first time I've ever seen a Thor ship being used against a fellow Terran. So we'll see how effective this is going to be, but I just don't know. Gretorp already has some anti-air. Ooh, the Banshee there going down. He does have anti-air, and the critical thing about Thor ship is you need to take out that dropship. That's what gives the Thor all its mobility. But the Thor is able to do so much damage to the Viking. And I don't know if this is going to be enough. Oh, the dropship coming in there and picking it off, but drops it off just in time. So PainUser there catching a lucky break, but now his Thor is going to go down, and I don't think this paid off very well. I don't think PainUser should have went for a Thor ship against Terran, and if he did, I think he left his dropship too vulnerable to the Vikings. So that is a huge hit, losing his Thor ship and his Thor ship in total, Thor and dropship. That's a huge loss right there, as Gretorp is now transitioning into Marauders, and he's already got his expansion up and running. PainUser now just getting his own expansion up. As you guys can see, the income showing the difference, 1400 over 700 right there. And now PainUser using his starport to pump out a Raven as well as the Vikings. So he's transitioning into a very nice mix of units. Gonna have the Thor as before, the Ravens, the Marines, Vikings. It's gonna be a nice composition for him. There comes a second Thor. He's also throwing down 2 Raxes as well, no doubt for Marauders. The one thing is I'm not sure if he's gonna go for another Thor ship. I would say going for a second Thor ship would not be the wisest idea, simply because now Gretorp is aware of it and he's got plenty of Vikings to deal with that. But yeah, I don't think PainUser is gonna pump out another dropship. He's probably gonna bulk up his army, play defensively, and he's staying inside his base. You guys can see he's throwing up turrets because he's well aware that Gretorp has those Banshees in the game. Gretorp here throwing up a 4th Rax as well. He's got 4 Raxes straight pumping Marauders. So at this point in the game, Gretorp at 71 supply, PainUser at 52. PainUser's definitely a bit behind, in fact really far behind, because his attempt at harass pretty much failed. And he lost 2 very expensive units in the process as well. So Gretorp's definitely got the larger ground army. He's making his push out right now, but keep in mind, because this is Desert Oasis, it takes a long time for those forces to travel across the entire map. That should give PainUser enough time to build up enough forces, but I'm not sure if he sees this coming. He doesn't have the middle or the right watchtower, so he's completely blind on the right side of the map as the forces are starting to make their way across. Gretorp also thinking about grabbing the gold as well, so Gretorp in firm control of this game, and if he plays his cards right, he should be able to inflict some damage, maybe even stop this expansion from going up for Pain. Pain still doesn't know this attack is coming, and by the time he sees it might be too late. His forces are not that large. 68 supply compared to 83. Gretorp can make a move right here and definitely do some damage. It's all going to come down to this Thor though, and how well PainUser is able to keep it alive. He's probably gonna have to pull SCVs to help repair it. And here we go, the engineering bay almost getting taken out there. Not sure what the idea behind that was, but Gretorp looks like he's gonna fall back. Huge battle going on here as PainUser's actually pushing Gretorp back. It looks like Gretorp's main army is a little bit fragmented right now. He's got a good army here, but considering his supply, you'd imagine that he would have a little bit more. And here goes a major battle. Vikings falling for both sides, but critically the Raven did not go down yet. It's going to come down to whether or not PainUser can use that point defense drone. If he can throw down a PDP or a PDD, it would definitely be effective against these Marauders, as it will stop all ranged attacks. But he's got to be careful where he throws it down. He already used one earlier right here. And a big battle going on right now. PainUser not using the point defense drone, lets his Thor go down. Oh, huge loss right there, as the Raven actually had enough energy for another PDD, But unfortunately, PainUser not microing well enough.